T-Bone and Heather in the morning on Star 98.3 and 97.7 The Bay.
Well, it is Friday. You know what that means.
Here's Johnny.
Yay!
Good morning.
Morning, John.
sir.
How are ya?
Good. I don't know if you did the weather report yet, but you better watch out. Twisters are a-going.
Yeah.
So Twisters.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how was it?
It was very good.
Measure
but
it against the first one.
you don't do that. You can't do that.
You
Bill
have to do
Paxton
that.
and Helen Hunt, you can't do it. It's okay, so against the first one, it's not as good.
Okay.
See, this
But-
is what it
But
is.
this is the guy from Maverick, right?
Yeah,
This-
Glenn Howell. Yeah.
and he's in the
By the way,
Hitman.
is everywhere.
And like literally everything, and I hate him with the passion of a thousand suns
Yeah.
because he's another one of these guys that came. I mean, he really came to prominence in Maverick, so he was supposed to be a guy you could hate.
Yeah.
But it's just everything about his stupid square jaw and his
Good
perfect
looks.
hair, and and then he's actually funny and
He's
stuff like
funny
that,
and
stuff like
seems
the
like a
Hitman.
genuinely nice guy.
Yeah,
I
and-
do hate him.
Why aren't there more bad people in Hollywood? That's what I want to know.
Oh, there's
right.
plenty.
Right.
There's plenty.
But no, against the original Twisters.
Well,
I mean,
it's Philip Seymour Hoffman, you're right. Bill Pullman, Helen Hunt. I mean, there were a ton of people in that movie, and Bill and what's his name, Philip Seymour Hoffman, gone. You know. And
yeah,
it would've-
Bill Paxton. This was really his.
Bill
now,
Pullman. I said Pullman. Sorry, Bill Paxton. You're right.
I'm probably forgetting one here, but I really feel like this was the last blockbuster hit of an astounding run this guy had.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Paxton started in Terminator.
Yeah.
Did Aliens.
Why
did
don't you put her
Predator,
in charge?
Yeah, game over, man. Game over.
Right.
Like you don't get better than that. And all the way up through Twister, and I mean, it was such a strange like cultural icon when it came out because it's a movie about tornadoes. Nobody thinks it's going to be, something that resonates with people and stays with them. But I mean, there were Universal Studios rides on it, and
Yeah.
forever. And that's part of the reason they waited so long to make another one. Because number one, the ridiculousness of it all, but you can accept ridiculousness if it seems like it's coming from a good place. Like, oh, you have Twister. What's your sequel? Twisters. Now there's two tornadoes.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
but that's why it took so long is because it was a beloved movie, strangely enough.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't reach the same places as the last one, but it hits all the same notes. And
Okay.
It feels like if you had never seen Twister and you go into Twisters, I guarantee you're going to have the same feeling as when you went into that first one. If
Okay.
you had gone into that first one.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so
good.
it's not going to be something that everybody's
Summer
talking about a
fun.
year from now. Summer fun blockbuster popcorn movie.
Beauty.
Honestly, I'm trying to think. Axel F, which I think I was gone that week when that came out.
Yeah.
that was a really fun summer action
It
movie.
was
but,
not bad.
but it was streaming, so
Right.
it's not a popcorn movie in my mind at least. So this is like really the one of the summer.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Deadpool and
you've got-
Wolverine is a huge blockbuster.
That's next
but that's
week.
a tentpole movie. This is like your one that not everybody has to see, but everybody that goes to see it is going to have a good time with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So So next week is when you see Deadpool Wolverine. Wolverine. That's
Yeah.
going to be huge.
It is. I am kind of worried. I shouldn't be because they're very smart about how they do things. Ryan Reynolds, he's started out as Van Wilder, and this guy is gonna end up going down as one of the smartest minds in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And he's so goofy you don't see it behind the scenes, but marketing and things like that, he's involved in all of it, and he's very smart with it. But it does make me nervous that we've seen so much of this movie. Like, there might
okay.
be a lot of it we haven't seen yet, but every single trailer is something new. Like, look, you sold people on this months ago. Just keep releasing slightly varied trailers with no secret details, and people are going to remember and come. That's all
Do
you
you
have to
think
do.
that that's a byproduct of the maybe the movie's not great, or do you think that the studios are like, if this one doesn't work, we got to turn the lights out?
The latter, definitely.
Yeah.
I think when the movie's not great, you see them ruin major secrets. Like Terminator Genesis, when that came out, it was who was it? It wasn't the one with Amelia Clark. It was Jason Clark. And it's a bunch of people that weren't in Terminator before. There was no Arnold Schwarzenegger. There was no Linda Hamilton.
Right.
And they had all the trailers coming out, and then a week before release, they have a trailer come out that shows, oh wait, Arnold is in it, and they show the T-800 coming out in the factory.
Right.
In that case, it was in that movie, it was a case of we don't have enough buzz. We need to generate buzz quick because not enough people are coming.
Gotcha.
But in this case, it's definitely more of and you can almost smell the studio execs behind it. They're like, oh, well, we got all these cool moments. We can show 30% of them. The numbers say we can do this.
And then you've seen the whole movie in the previews.
And it's like even little things like the ugly dog that plays dog pool, like showing that he's going to show up and all this cool stuff. It really does take away something from it. But that's going to be. It's going to be a huge. If that movie fails, I will have lost all faith in cinema. Honestly.
Wow!
I don't see how it can
fail.
I think people are. Yeah, I think people are looking forward to a big summer blockbuster. I mean, you have had. I mean, for the kids. I mean, Despicable Me 4, and you've had the Inside Out 2. I mean, the kids have had
bonkers.
The kids have had a boon summer.
Stupid
it's time
kids.
for the adults to have some fun as
and
well.
that's its only drawback from a financial standpoint is that it's an R-rated movie,
right?
And so you're not going to get all the kids to it. But honestly, that line starts to trend when it comes to that's the amazing aspect of Ryan Reynolds. He can get parents to bring their kids to see Deadpool for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's no way it doesn't do well. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are two of the most beloved names in Hollywood. It's two of the most loved
and the characters are loved. Right.
Yeah. There's no way it doesn't do well.
How about streaming? What do we have this week on streaming? Anything fun?
So now that all the money is in the Twister pot for right now. So
I'm going to have to go home and watch Twister, the original, I think.
Yeah, and you're going to have to catch up on all the amazing shows that have been out if you haven't.
One thing about streaming, Netflix has announced they are phasing out their ad-free option.
Oh.
The company announced that Thursday. The streaming giant says they've already stopped accepting new customers for basic plans. Can't get a basic plan anymore. Existing basic plan subscribers are going to be able to continue with the current plan. The ad-free experience on Netflix will have two options. The standard plan is about $16 a month. Mm-hmm. The premium plan is $23 a month.
And they're getting rid of that? They're getting rid of ad-free?
Yeah, so there's not going to be any ad-free available?
This is the headline. Netflix will begin phasing out its most affordable ad-free option.
Okay, so most affordable. So they're just the cheap version. So
Yeah.
you can still...
Right.
I mean, it sucks, but you can still pay for a ad-free version because that's the thing.
I don't mind if there's a commercial before the movie starts. Like if there's a
Yeah, right.
But
Like Amazon does that a lot.
I don't want them strung through the movie.
Yeah, stopping the movie is the problem.
Oh, that's a death knell.
Look, I mean, I'm gonna get rotten fruit thrown at me for saying this, but I've never understood why we aren't more reasonable about ads. Like, $10 a month for a streaming service worked back in the day, but these movies, we want these streaming services.
If you're paying
we want them
for
to be
the
free.
streaming service, right? If you're paying for it, if the streaming service is free, like a Pluto, like all these other ones,
no, even if you're not,
you anticipate the ads.
No, even if you're not paying for it, because if you're, I'm sorry, even if you are paying for it. So if you're paying Netflix was $14 a month when this whole thing really got going. All right, and we expect from them new content that's high dollar with big names that's super popular.
That isn't always Indian detective shows, which, by the way, I love Indian detective shows.
It doesn't work
but
at
it's $14
a month. You can't produce that. So yes, honestly, to me, the fact that they're giving us the option, and they've gone up quite a bit. So there's problems on both sides. But the fact that they give us the option of, hey, we're not just going to raise prices on you. If you don't want to raise prices, that's fine. We'll give you some ads. And it's like, we're not okay with anything. It's like something's got to give there. Like, they've got to make their money. They've got to be able to pay for the stuff.
I think you're spot on correct. Like, you take that movie that Netflix did with Will Smith a few years back, Bright.
Right.
Yeah.
That thing had a budget of $100 million.
Yeah.
Or maybe over $100 million. Well, if you're going to write a check for $100 million...
Yeah, but they're making billions. They're making billions a month, T. They have how many subscribers at $20?
You're not counting the content licenses they get
and
paid
you're
for.
also
Every
not
single
counting,
thing is a content
see, you
license.
are so far off, Heather. And you're also not counting the fact that, and this is, people kind of poo-poo this, but it's real. How many people are flat out not paying for Netflix?
That's true.
Yeah,
they're just
that's
using
true.
their buddy's password.
It's true.
And they're watching Bright free of charge. and everything and all the other content that they provide, and they're paying nothing.
And then we get mad about it. Look, I am not siding with the big bad corporations. I do it too. But it's just funny to me that we're like, oh, how dare you not let us steal your services?
Right.
We had a perfect way to steal this, and you took it from us. It's funny to me. But there's also another thing to be said for responsible financials. Like Bright. When you have companies like Blumhouse coming out and making a $3 million horror movie that makes $100 million,
right?
Their whole business plan is, if we make these cheap, we can make 10 of them,
right?
And one of them will do good, and then we'll make our money back, and we're good. But when you have, when you're paying $1 million for craft services, when you're paying Will Smith $30 million when he hasn't had a certified hit in 15 years,
except on Chris Rock.
Yeah.
But
that was good.
He's here all week, folks.
So I mean, there's also that part where they also can't act like Caligula in Rome and be throwing grapes and money all over the place,
Right, but we still have Netflix. We still have a lot of services, but there is going to be a time
there's a point,
where you just have to cut back. Now we're starting to watch Apple TV again, with some of those shows, Presumed Innocent and things like that.
That's a great series.
We're back to cable prices in our house, definitely.
Yeah, but we're close. We're close.
I have to remind myself though that I am back to cable prices. But 90% of my content is not QVC or some special on the American Heroes channel. Like, I have the Libraries of Alexandria of entertainment available, and I can watch anything I want, whenever I want. So we're still in a better place, really, when you think about it.
Much to my chagrin, but that Presumed Innocent is great.
Who's in that?
That's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Skarsgård, his brother-in-law, and a bunch of other people.
Right.
They've already said there's going to be a season 2.
You like it a lot more than I like it.
Really? Well,
it's okay.
You know why? Because you've already read the book and you've already seen the other movie.
But it's okay. I mean, it's all right.
Is this the same as the Harrison Ford movie
years
ago?
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going in
same
this,
but different.
I'm going this ground zero. I know nothing about nothing. And I'm enjoying the ride all the way through.
Good for you. And watching The Acolyte on Disney, we have to get back into that. But that is well done. And, so it's hard to pick and choose. And we are constantly watching Paramount and constantly watching Peacock content on that. And Mom's got Brit TV. She's got
mom.
Acorn and Brit.
My mom, rest her soul, would always have Acorn and BritBox.
My God.
I would get a call from her every 3 days. John, my BritBox isn't working. I need you to help me fix my BritBox. And you would think her insulin pump stopped working.
I know, right?
It was like, I need to see these British detectives because there's something special about them.
I don't know what it is. Vera and then All Things Great and Small.
And
my mom is
Miss Marple.
I love Miss Marple.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to show her that. But yeah, she loves
This is the one we
BritBox.
get in my house all the time. This is the 2:00 in the morning call at our house.
Right.
I need the subtitles on.
I don't understand what they're saying.
No, I will defend that. I was just talking to somebody else, and I know we're running short on time, but I got to know from your side. We have totally become subtitle people in the last 5 years.
We're subtitle people.
100%.
We started because the kids were so loud and we couldn't hear. But we stayed because, holy crap, there was a lot we weren't hearing in movies. There's so much detail you don't get.
I love subtitles.
Yes.
I love it. I love subtitles. Yes. I every time the only time we don't have subtitles on is during Jeopardy because the subtitle comes on before the contestant answers.
And I can't help but cheat.
So we cheat. So we have to take the subtitles off.
Carpe diem. What is carpe diem?
And you saw it on the subtitles. So we have to take subtitles off.
Stand-up comedy, too. Same thing. Like, so many punchlines ruined that way. But other than the stand-up comedy and Jeopardy, subtitles are the way to go.
All right, so it's all about the Twister this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Twisters.
All right, fantastic.